Hello, everyone, and welcome to the North Fork Experience, the podcast where we explore the journeys of exceptional individuals and businesses shaping our communities and industries. I'm your host, Kirk Hays, and today we have a truly remarkable guest who embodies dedication, expertise, and unparalleled success in the real estate world. Joining us is Shannon Clark, a distinguished realtor with Century 21, serving the Towanda, Pennsylvania area. Shannon isn't just any realtor. She's a four-time Double Centurion Award winner and one-time Grand Centurion Award winner. Accolades like that place her among the absolute elite in the real estate industry. The words speak volumes about her commitment to her clients and her profound impact on the market. Shannon, welcome to the podcast. It's an honor to have you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Excellent. We'll get right into it here. Shannon, those Centurion Awards are incredibly impressive. Before we dive into what it takes to achieve that level of success, could you tell us a bit about your journey into real estate? Like what initially drew you to this profession and what keeps you so passionate about it, particularly in your area?
So I actually started in social work, which is a great field, but I needed some extra funds. And then I switched to title and started doing title searching and things and worked for a title company for many years and happened to be in the same building as a Century 21 office. And the broker there kept telling me I should become a real estate agent too. And when my son was born, I was on maternity leave and I was like, hey, I think I'll take my real estate test. And I got licensed and started working, doing full-time title and part-time real estate. And then after about 6 years, I had hit the 75, sold 75 houses for 2 years in a row, and things were getting a little crazy. So decided to make the full-time plunge to real estate.
Very impressive. So someone just kind of knew you had what it takes, huh? They saw it in you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, perfect. And we certainly understand about the needing a little extra funds. I know we talked a little bit before. I worked in oil and gas a long time. There are funds there, but sometimes the work-life balance isn't the best. So that's when we started looking at some alternatives here. So, but yeah, that's really a wonderful foundation. Real estate's often about more than just about the transactions. It's about helping people make significant life changes too. So your experience as a social worker, I'm sure, helped in that aspect as well. What are some of the most rewarding aspects of guiding clients through what is often one of the biggest financial and most emotional decisions that they'll make in their lives?
I think that's the most important thing, that I'm a part of one of their largest decisions. And I just have always lived by the feeling of treat them like the way you treat your grandparent. And now that my kids are getting older, and now I'm more of treat them like they're my children, like my kids. So just treating people the way I want to be treated, living by the golden rule. It's pretty easy to live that way and to treat your clients that way, and to know when it's a good deal and when it's a bad deal for them, and coach them through making tough decisions. Sometimes it's harder to say no than it is to say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that reputation precedes you, and especially in a small town like Towanda, like we discussed before. I've spent some time there myself, so I know the area pretty well. It really has its unique charm and characteristics. How would you describe the distinct flavor of the real estate market there, and what makes it a special place to work and live?
So we have a very strong employment history here. We have a lot of factories. People are working around the clock, first, second, third shift. We have the oil and gas industry, the hospitals and the schools. So I'm very fortunate where unemployment is not really a thing here. We always say if you aren't working in Bradford County, it's only because you choose to not work.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a very good base there. And then because we're such a small town, I am very community driven. I feel like this town raised me. I had a single mom who worked 80 hours a week, and people in this town made sure I got to my sporting events and was involved in community things. So as an adult, I'm very committed to being part of the community, like the YMCA, the Little League, Futures Community Support, Children's House, all things that I care deeply about. And that's where I mainly get most of my clients, because I'm just at a ball game and we start talking like real estate or things. So.
No, that's a great point, because small towns like that, it really does give you that community feel. And And you're right about the industries there. Like I said, I spent a lot of time there and did a lot of traveling at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there are a lot of people out traveling to get to work. So there's plenty of opportunity there if you're willing to work for it.
Right.
So achieving double centurion status for 4 times and Grand Centurion once is extraordinary. For our listeners who might be in sales, business, or even just curious about high performance, what does it truly mean to earn those awards, and what kind of dedication and strategy is required year after year?
I truly believe in being habitual. Like, I have to do the same thing every day. I get up early, I get my house in order, I have my kids' life in order, my family, and then I get to work. I go to the gym, and then I get to work. I am following up with clients every day by 6 a.m. I'm at the office no later than 8, and we start doing appointments all day long. So you just have to be habitual, and communication and follow-up is the number one way to be a successful real estate agent. You just have to communicate. People have questions. They're kind of scared. They don't know if their questions are dumb, or they are afraid to ask them, or they don't know what questions to ask. So you have to, as an agent, try to figure out what part they're at and what questions they might have, and just stay in communication, because a lot of times they think they're bothering you when it's really our job. This is what we should be doing. Like, they don't want to call you more than once a day, and I'm like, I talk to some people 5 times a day. So
yeah, absolutely. That level of consistency is inspiring for sure, and a lot of times that's what really makes the difference, is small effort over and over, and you just have to be able to consistently show up and prove to people that you're in it to help them, and that can impact a lot of businesses, not just real estate.
Correct. Yes.
So can you elaborate a little more on some of the core strategies and principles that you found most effective in building and maintaining such a real estate business, and what sets your approach apart? Like, what do you think you do that enables you to get to that status that some of the other people maybe aren't doing?
I come to the office every day. I think that's the number one thing. I'm consistent. Buyers, sellers, people in the community know that I'm going to be here, and they know if I'm not here that I'm out showing a property or at a listing. I think a lot of people like to say that they can work from home and do a consistent job, but when you're in the building hearing real estate talk, like, opportunities are walking by, or people are on the phone, and you hear them, and you get to hear, like, there's a new listing coming on, someone's going to check out a property, or you hear a buyer come in with a problem. You can deal with it or hear how the resolution is. I think coming to the office is important. I think working 7 days a week is important as a real estate agent. You don't have to work 7 days a week, 12-hour days, but you do need to work every single day, especially in my town, because we do have shift work. My clients work 7 days a week around, and so do I.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's at least important to have some availability, even on those weekends, if you don't make it to the office, but be available for people, because, as you said, a lot of times that's when they have time to, to start looking into things. And if you're not available for them when they are, it makes it tough to, for you to move forward with your goals.
Yeah, they're just moving on to another agent.
Exactly. Yeah. If they know they can't get a hold of you when they need to, I'm sure there's a few down the road that they can move on to, and they'll be there, and you'll lose out. So.
Correct.
So every market has its ups and downs. How do you adapt your strategies to navigate different market conditions, whether it's a seller's market, a buyer's market, or something in between?
So my first 10, 15 years in the real estate market here, it's always been a buyer's market. So that's the only market I knew. And when we switched to a seller's market during COVID, that was a whole new experience. And I had to shift I had to pivot and say I need to focus on sellers, because before I'd always been focusing on the buyers and what they needed. But this time it was a transition to focus on both of them. And I really learned a lot now I feel like I've done both sides. I think you just have to roll with the market. Luckily in my area, we don't have a lot of highs and lows. We're pretty steady.
Yeah. Yep.
We, are like the rest of the country with low inventory. We're starting to stabilize now It's kind of becoming more 50-50 here. So that'll be a whole nother market that we haven't dealt with either. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be able to play the changes in all industries, and especially real estate, as it changes based on what's available around you, for sure. I know COVID changed up things so much for so many people. It was certainly a crazy time in the world. So it's nice that you were able to navigate through that and still have success.
Yeah, right now we're going through in our area, we are primarily government insured loans. Okay. So it's a real struggle with this government shutdown. And we are in a holding pattern, and it's not fun. So this is just another
obstacle.
Real estate agent.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to figure out a way to make it happen, and that's certainly part of a lot of industries, and it's very prevalent in yours, I'm sure. So building trust is paramount in real estate. In what ways do you prioritize communication and transparency to ensure clients feel confident and well-informed throughout the entire buying and selling process?
I am a big communicator via text and email, so we can all remember what we said and where we're at. I have all my buyers set up on notifications of when houses hit the market. I have my sellers get every other week, they get an update as to, how many people have looked at their house, what the feedback was, where the buyers are coming from. We have a mapping system, if they're coming from the south, if they're coming from the north, if they're local, where buyers are looking at their house from. Are they looking at it Zillow, realtor.com, century21.com? So follow-up is key, checking in with them so they don't feel like you've forgotten about them. And a lot of times there's like a dead 30 days where we really don't have much to talk about. If we're under contract, we're kind of just waiting, but still checking in with them because they get nervous. So just like a weekly, bi-weekly check-in. And I do ask the buyers, like, how do you want to be? How much communication do you want? Some people want to talk every day. Some people are like, just get me to the closing table.
Yep. No, I'm the same way for sure. I need it on text or email or I'll forget about it. And you deal with so many clients, I'm sure, in your business that, it's just something that you need to be able to look back on. You can't remember everybody as much as you try, and you can't remember everything that you've discussed with them. So it's important to have those notes jotted down somewhere at least. So for someone considering buying or selling a home in the Towanda area right now, what's one piece of crucial advice?
Well, in Bradford County, we have a Trehab grant that we should be getting funded soon once the government opens. It's a great first-time homebuyer grant, and also for any buyer that's looking at a house, no matter Bradford County or anywhere, getting pre-approved, finding out what type or types of loans that you're approved for and comparing them, creating a budget, a realistic budget, because a lot of buyers will get pre-approved for something. Sure, they could afford it, but they're not going to be going out to dinner. They're not going on a vacation. Yeah. So doing a budget that's realistic and then getting set up with what they want versus what they need. Because in this market, there's not a lot of inventory out there. So there's going to be some sacrifices, and you just need to be as prepared as you can be before you step foot into a home before looking at one.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I'm sure some people, you get both ends of the spectrum. You get some people that really want more home than they can afford, and some people that maybe are on the other end as well. As we talked, I worked in oil and gas quite a bit, and I always felt like I was almost like the financial advisor for a lot of the guys on my crew. Now, I was a salary employee being an engineer, so it made it a little bit easier for me. But, man, some of the guys really wanted to spend a lot of money, and guys, we're one slowdown away from you not being able to afford that house, So it was an interesting life to live for sure in the oil and gas industry there, and you have a lot of those buyers in your market, so I'm sure it can present some struggles as well.
Yes, we do. And when we would see someone come in with like a $90,000 truck pulling into the parking lot, I'd be like, oh gosh.
Yeah, one of those guys. Yeah. So looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of real estate? both generally and specifically within your market. Are there any innovations or changes you anticipate that will impact how you serve your clients?
Well, I think the oil and gas industry is going to be coming back here to the area. I think we have some growth happening here in Bradford County, which I'm really excited about. We are starting to Pennsylvania is really starting to put money into their state parks and things, and that's a big draw for us. Our tourism is really hunting, hiking, the river. So it's really nice to see our county parks being updated. And I just think we live in one of the most beautiful places in the whole country. Whenever people come here that have never been here, they are astounded by the beauty of our mountains and rivers and creeks. It's just a great place to live. It's a good small town feel for people to, raise kids, retire, just have a more simple life here.
Yep. Yeah, I can attest. It is pretty up that way. Like I said, I've spent so much time there, and it is a nice little small town feel for sure. Beyond the transactions that you're deeply invested in your community, in what ways do you feel your work as a realtor contributes to the overall well-being and growth of the Towanda and surrounding areas? So I was able to do a little bit of research on you, and it looks like you're very active in the community based on what I've seen and just from a little bit of our talk here. So if you could expand on that some.
I think that Towanda, because we are a small town, we have so many organizations, and we are a lower income area. So that is important for us. Being part of the YMCA, I think that's our community hub. When people move here, they look for things like a YMCA, and that's how you can meet new families and find programming for children. Our human services departments are wonderful. They will not be able to function without the help of our community, and we really just try to help raise money. I always say that people in this town give more than anywhere else I've ever seen. I always say people who have the least give the most, and this town does it every single time.
Yeah, that's impressive for sure. It sounds like a great area to live, and from my experience, it was a great area to work. So the conversation's been incredibly insightful today and truly showcases why you are a respected and successful professional. Your dedication to our clients and community is evident. Thank you so much for sharing your North Fork experience with us today. Is there anything that you'd like your clients to know before we wrap up? Is there anywhere we can reach you, anywhere you can be seen?
Yes, you can call me anytime. You can, if you just Google or chat GPT, Shannon Clark, Century 21 Real Estate Agent, you'll find me. I service Bradford County and northeastern Pennsylvania along with New York. So I'd love to help you find a home or sell a home.
Fantastic. We'll be sure to include those details in our notes for easy access. That's all for this episode of the North Fork Experience. A huge thank you to our incredible guest, Shannon Clark, and thank you for all you for tuning in. Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep experiencing all that our communities have to offer. Thank you.
Thank you.